On West Texas.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the front page. I'm Sarah Strackhouse. Our top story this afternoon and making national headlines. Baltimore is in a state of emergency after falling victim to rioters and looters. Over 24 arrests, 15 police officers injured, cars and businesses and apartments torched. The worst day of violence reserved for the day Freddie Gray was buried. Chris Cuomo reports.
On a day that expected peace and mourning, police stood down, and that was a mistake. The funeral of Freddie Gray marked the worst day of rioting in Baltimore since the 60s.
This is one of our darkest days as a city, and I know that we're much better than this.
National Guard troops and waves of cops fanning out after the governor declares a state of emergency. Gray's family condemning the violence as well, but looters and rioters take advantage of lax policing to set fire to and steal from their own community, injuring police, journalists, and each other.
I think the violence is wrong, and Freddie Gray wasn't no person for violence, or Freddie Gray wasn't that type of person to break in those stores and all that. I don't like it at all.
The mayor and governor facing sharp criticism for standing down on such an emotionally charged day and then not seeming to have a plan, leading to chaos.
We've been standing by in preparation, just in case the violence escalated, which it did. When the mayor called, we activated. We were fully prepared.
Darkness adding to the danger, brazen standoffs between masked men on both sides, hurling anything they could, even crude explosives, at cops, police cruisers, and neighborhood cars on fire. Pepper bullets in constant supply from a largely controlled wall of resistance. Then, what seems to be a suicide mission. A car racing past us right into the police line, stopping feet away, only to return to the fray. A night no one was safe. Local stores lit up, spreading to an adjoining apartment. A mother and her baby escaping just in time. Officials now say the riots may not have been a surprise. Word of a purge, referring to the sci-fi film where all crimes are absolved for 12 hours. A deranged rallying cry heeded apparently by a large number of juveniles, contributing to the violence now gripping the city. The police commissioner calling on parents to take charge of their kids, like this woman, angered at a young man's participation in the unrest.
You won't be out here doing this dumb.
Members of the community did stand strong. This man, a Vietnam vet, boldly confronts a group of youngsters taunting police.
Go!
Determined to do what authorities could not. Take control of this community.
They do not respect this young man's death, you know. Now, mama and daddy didn't lost a child. That could be them.
In local news, an Odessa man is dead following an accident in Midland County yesterday. Department of Public Safety say troopers say 61-year-old Melvin Dean Brown was driving his pickup on FM 307 yesterday afternoon when a dump truck traveling further ahead was preparing to turn onto South County Road 1050. Brown's pickup hit the truck. DPS says Brown was killed in the crash and he was wearing a seatbelt at the time. And opening statements were made today in the trial of Tony Flint. That's according to the Hudspeth County Clerk's Office. Flint is charged with the murder of Glenn Feltz, the owner of the La Kiva bar in Terlingua back in February of 2014. The trial is being presided over by the 394th State Judicial District Judge Roy Ferguson in Sierra Blanca. And in state weather headlines, storms swept through Dallas overnight, severely damaging at least one home. The homeowner says that he was in his living room when a tree crashed down into his house. He says a board struck him in the head during the incident, but he was not seriously injured. In the town of Kaufman, strong winds left several buildings badly damaged and toppled a number of big rig trailers as well. Turning now to local weather, it's been a cool day here in the basin, some would say even chilly. How's this evening shaping up? Let's check in with Weather Director Craig Stewart for today's weather headlines. Hi, Craig.
Sarah, it's been a little breezy as well as cool today. And again, that goes a little bit better than what we saw the last 2 days, which was really windy conditions. So I want to show you what's going on with the Pinpoint 4x4 radar because we do have a freeze warning in effect. That's for the Davis Apache Mountain area, the Marfa Plateau. Could be seeing some freezing temperatures late tonight, early Wednesday. So it's going to be expiring at about 9 a.m. on Wednesday. So again, freeze warning in effect for that area. Otherwise, what we're looking at in terms of weather headlines, mostly cloudy cloudy, breezy, cool this afternoon, sunny and warm later in the week. We'll tell you all about that. Also a chance of rain in the 7-day forecast. All that coming up in a bit. Sarah?
Craig, thanks. Can't wait for that warm weather to get here. In other national headlines, the U.S. Supreme Court is hearing oral arguments today in a case that could change the lives of gay couples across the country. Justices will hear oral arguments in Obergefell v. Hodges. The case originated in Ohio. At issue is whether or not same-sex couples have the constitutional right to marry. A decision by this same court in 2013 upheld gay couples' rights to marry, but that ruling does not require states to recognize marriages performed in other states. Opponents argue that states have the right to set their own rules for marriage. The court should render its decision in this landmark case by July. And prosecutors and the defense made their opening statements Monday in the trial of James Holmes, who was accused in Aurora, Colorado theater shooting. Holmes killed 12 people and injured 70 others during a midnight showing of The Dark Knight Rises in 2012. He faces 165 counts, including murder and attempted murder charges. Holmes pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. Jury selection began in January, and after a 4-month process, 12 jurors and alternates composed of 19 women and 5 men were selected. In international headlines, help from around the world is pouring into Nepal after Saturday's disastrous earthquake. But getting it delivered, especially to remote areas, is proving to be an enormous challenge. The weather isn't cooperating and every minute counts. With thousands of people in desperate need, the death toll is climbing and will likely continue to do so. Right now, it stands officially at more than 4,600. Nearly 10,000 people are hurt. Most of the casualty figures are from the Kathmandu region of Nepal, but people also died in India and in China. Here's a look now at what's trending across social media. Watching as little as an hour of television a day can significantly increase a child's obesity risks. A pediatricians group is meeting in San Diego. A study presented there Sunday following more than 11,000 kindergartners and first graders. It found kids who watch an hour or more a day had significantly higher body mass indexes than those who watch just 30 minutes or less. TV tots were up to 73% more likely to be obese. Computer use wasn't associated with higher body weight. Researchers said most American kindergartners watch an average of 3.3 hours of TV a day. Experts are now calling for new guidelines on TV viewing times. And Apple shared opened at a record high this morning after posting one of its best quarters ever. Monday, Apple reported revenue of $58 billion and profits of $13.6 billion, records for the company's second quarter. iPhone sales are way up and the buzz building over Apple's latest gadget. The Apple Watch means the company is likely to see an even bigger boost in revenue. And the U.S. Coast Guard rescued a 42-year-old man off a charter fishing boat in Texas. Someone in the boat called for help after finding the man face down, unresponsive, and coming in and out of consciousness. A U.S. Coast Guard air crew hoisted the man aboard a helicopter and took him to the hospital. There's no word on his condition. And the FAA will be in Alabama today to investigate why a small plane crash landed into a motel parking lot. Officials say the small plane pilot was practicing runway approaches when the incident occurred. No one was hurt in the crash. Airport officials say that the plane may have had engine trouble, forcing an emergency landing. And you can't stop saying wow when you watch this video. The camera was rolling as this happened during severe storms Monday morning. Strong winds literally forced some train cars off the elevated tracks in Jefferson Parish, Louisiana, near the Huey P. Long Bridge. Amazingly, no injuries were reported. The New Orleans Public Belt Railroad says that the rail cars were empty and did not contain any hazardous materials. Still ahead on the front page in today's Health Minute, getting braces as an adult may not sound pleasant, but it could hold benefits you may not have thought of. But first, how does the weather look for Fiesta West Texas this weekend? Weather Director Craig Stewart will have your full 7-day forecast coming up on CBS 7, your eye on West Texas. Welcome back. Plagued by crooked teeth, discomfort when you chew, or maybe even migraines, braces may be the answer to your problem. In today's Health Minute, Kenny Bao may explain why it's never too late for straight teeth.
Deciding to get braces as an adult is a big decision. It's not just an investment. Many adults worry that they'll look silly or strange with brackets on their teeth. But there's no reason to be embarrassed.
Orthodontics as an adult can be a great way to show that you care about your health.
Another problem that often concerns adults is the pain associated with orthodontia.
Depending upon the severity of the problem, many times it can be very uncomfortable when you're first getting accustomed to it, much more so than a child. A child's much more dynamic.
Even if the thought of braces scares you, Dr. Dunwoody says the benefits far outweigh the discomfort. Getting orthodontia as an adult can improve and even correct some serious problems.
People have chronic headaches, sometimes misdiagnosed as migraines that may just be a tooth position problem. Other people have sleep disorders and have trouble reading through their noses. And again, the teeth are strictly a symptom of what the problem is. So health-wise, the function of the teeth, it prevents wear, it prevents the premature aging of the whole face and the teeth.
For CNN, I'm Kelly Bowman.
In health headlines, a new study reveals that youthful binge drinking could lead to brain issues as you get older. The study suggests that young adults' brain is quite sensitive to binge drinking. As a result, such drinking may cause memory problems in adults. And to make matters worse, brain cells may become more vulnerable to injury from trauma or disease. The study was published in this week's journal, Alcoholism. There's still more to come on the front page. An undead union is sure to make vampire lovers very happy. Meanwhile, fans of another primetime drama are hoping to bring a character back from the dead. Stick around. Welcome back. In today's entertainment headlines, it's a vampire match that fans are hoping will last an eternity. Ian Somerhalder and Nikki Reed tied the knot over the weekend. Both celebrities were well known for roles as beautiful bloodsuckers in the Vampire Diaries and the Twilight movies, respectively. And Grey's Anatomy fans wondering how to save a life are hoping a petition will do the trick. In its most recent episode, the show's male lead, Dr. Derek McDreamy Shepherd, died. Upset fans have now started a change.org petition to bring the character back. They have already more than 20,000 supporters, including some people right here at CBS 7 News. And Avengers: Age of Ultron hasn't even hit screens in the U.S., but it has already pulled in an estimated $201 million in box office sales. The blockbuster sequel opened overseas on Wednesday. The film is expected to make another $200 million when it opens in U.S. this Friday. News that the strange is next. Watching a gator show sounds like fun until it isn't. The amazing video is coming up, but first here's Mr. Food's Test Kitchen. Here's a look at what's coming up in our next half hour on Closer Look. A devastating earthquake that's rocked the Himalayan nation has many searching for loved ones, but that's not the case for one Oregon father. This morning he saw that his son was alive while watching the television. That story and more coming up. And here's a look at some of the stories you'll be seeing on CBS 7 News at 5. Most people turn to banks for extra cash, but more are heading online instead. We'll show you why. And a major Encore project has some Midland residents upset. And students at Trinity walk the red carpet and show how they plan to make the world a better place. These stories and more coming up at 5. Now for today's Take a Look at This. Severe weather roared through Texas. This supercell was spotted near Dallas. The storms also brought large hail as well as wind gusts of up to 70 miles an hour. And this school bus surveillance video is sure to enrage any parent. The bus doors are about to open when an SUV comes within inches of hitting 3 children. The vehicle drove on the shoulder right between the kids and the bus. No one was hurt, but it shook up the kids. The incident happened so fast, no one got the driver's license plate. And finally, a word to the wise: don't mess around with an alligator. These 2 trainers were putting on a show in Texas when the animal, named Rex, snapped. The trainer remained calm and even continued with the show. The audience member who shot this video says they're done with gators and will now only watch them on TV. Thanks for watching CBS 7's Closer Look. With your daily dose of Studio 7 is up next. We're back in 2 minutes. You make it a great afternoon.